Well, given your prominence now, Rand, and then someone who came out of nowhere to become this front-running Senate candidate in Kentucky, an important state, everything you say is much more closely scrutinized. And your BP comments also came into play, in which you said, what I don't like from the president wasn't the administration, it's this sort of, I'll put my boot heel on the throats of BP. I think it sounds really un-American in his criticism of business. Did you mean that,
well,
that he was going too far, or what?
Well, the interesting thing about the comments is I laugh and I chuckle because the news media reported that those were my words. Those were Ken Salazar's words, and all I was saying is that the tone of a presidential administration should not be using words like that to talk about a business. I don't think it's constructive. I don't think it's constructive now to talk about vilifying BP when we should want BP to clean up the mess. If you vilify them and put them all in jail, there'll be nobody left to clean up the mess.
So, Rand, when the president today,
we want them to clean it up.
I'm sorry, Rand, but when the president today criticizes BP for launching an ad campaign that is meant to defend sort of the company's honor, so to speak, and that it's on top of this bill, what do you think of that when the president criticizes a company from trying to pay to boost its PR?
It bothers me. It bothers me. I saw the full-page ad in the newspaper, and they've promised to pay for the cleanup. Do we have to have a villain? That's my whole point. Do we want a presidential administration that does say outlandish things like they're going to put their boot heel on BP? I want BP to pay. Everybody wants them to pay for cleaning up the oil mess. But the thing is that sometimes people are well-intentioned and bad things happen. And I don't know if there was negligence or fault here. It should be investigated, and if there is, someone should be punished for it. But we shouldn't automatically assume that there is. We should say let's investigate it fully. If someone is guilty of negligence, let's punish them. But even if they're just guilty of it being an accident, they should be liable. The interesting thing is a lot of these people beating their chests and criticizing me are the same people who voted to limit the liability of BP. BP has limited liability because Congress limited their liability, and that was a mistake to happen several years ago.